and salutations.
What up, potty people? I am bringing it back. I have realized I have not done this little random weekend show in quite a while. I looked back and it was like July, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I have been incredibly busy. If you haven't noticed, so anyway, thing was that I didn't have time to put the show together because, believe it or not, I put the show together. It's a thing. Because we're going to be back to form today. I'm going to do a couple of things a little different, but first and foremost, let's get going with the slides. Crazy shit I saw this week. Federal fugitive caught in Kentucky. This is a statewide um channel. This is you know, technically local, even though it's like 4 hours away. It's statewide. But anyway, what caught me about it was look at what they caught her with. Was she playing live action Red Dead Redemption? That is my question. I mean, seriously. Remember when TV was good? Pepperidge Farm remembers. E. coli. And then this sad sack. Read that. Pervert man children, dude. I see you crying all the time. Yeah. I just wanted to share this with everybody. In case you're wondering, Edgar right here is a sock puppet. It's very obvious, you just open it up and like, oh, I'm nobody. Like one pose. You know the drill. But this just came out from London Comic Con. So I gotta say, you gotta love my internet. And this is why I've not done lives. Part of the reason. But I gotta say maybe. Um, I'll think about it. This one I gotta say no fucking way. And the thing is, I love the design of this went on the original. This one, there's a lot going on. The reuse of the miniguns from Shockwave bother me. He didn't have those types of weapons in the original. Um, the sash on top of the gear is that's not the way the figure was. I mean, and then I'm not saying, oh, we got to have it all the old way. No, but it needs to make practical sense. If you're going to do the sash, you don't need to be doing that shit underneath it. I don't like the mask. The only thing I do like is this little grenade. That's cool. But easy pass. I fucking hate this thing. I think I'm the only person who has stuck to his guns about Cobra Law. I fucking hate Cobra Law. I just hate Cobra Law. And this is even worse. What is up with those swords? I mean, I know that's a big figure, but God, those look like toothpicks in his hands. Ugh. Heavy duty. As a wait and see for me. I know it's going to be a deluxe. I know he's getting shoehorned with a lot of weapons, but he also has what looks to be what was it? Metalheads, missiles, and I'm wondering if it's going to be the same thing where you can only show them launched. If it is, I'm going to say F that. I don't need that crap. Okay, nothing major. I heard my phone ding. Um, Retro Flint. Yes. Televiper. I'll take a look at it. No guarantees. Cover Girl. I need to see a figure. With the implication of this being blonde like in the cartoon, yeah, that could go good or that could go shit. Um, and it's only in the mass device. It's not any other time in the cartoon. It's really weird to have for them to go to this look for the retro card. I'm wondering about that. So in case you missed it, here is Ollie's exclusives for next year. I said that on I said that on a Facebook page, and somebody said, like, "You realize that's not good, right?" I'm like, "I don't give a damn. This is bad decisions." Now, I don't hate this Falcon, but not enough to buy him, and I know this is gonna be a deluxe, and the Cap has wings. It's gonna be a deluxe, and of course, the Red Hulk is gonna be a deluxe. I'm looking at the Red Hulk though, and going, "Is there anything different from the Red Hulk that's at Target right now besides the head?" I mean, I don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That could be one of the other MCU Hulks too. I don't know. I don't see anything really new here, and there you can kind of see the wings for Cap was the other reason I wanted this picture in. And then we have Shaq T. I always forget her name, Isadora or something like that, and that one chick who tried to be the new Boba Fett. All shit I can pass, and that's the slides. So I kind of ran through that quick. I realized. But then again, you're busy people with busy days. So next, let me go on to I've always wanted to do reactions and I never have. So let me go and share my screen. Oh shit. Hold on. I gotta go get it. Just bear with me a moment. I probably lost it too. Damn it. Such a professional show. Okay, it's back. So I want to react this to real life fake wizard. If you've never watched his channel, go ahead. I forgot to put his link in the description. It's a funny channel, cool channel. I love the fact that he wears a fake beard with a Gandalf hat. That's funny to me. Uh, but I have not watched this yet. And the reason I saved it was because normally I do agree with real life fake wizard a lot, but I kind of wanted to get some real honest to God reaction to what he says in this video. So I'm gonna play it. I'm probably pause it a few times and go through it, but I kind of wanted to see what he had to say on this because he's saying movies killed cinema. I don't know if and I don't think I'm going to agree with that. I'll share my thoughts as we go.
Wix. One
Oh,
platform,
stupid.
any website, unlimited creation.
I've been trying to find the words for this video for some time, and I decided to post this version because even though I don't think it's my best work, it's authentically me. And I think you will
I mean, if he doesn't think it's his best work, should we stop now? No, I'm joking.
find some value in that. Do you know what the fundamental goal of a movie is? It's to make money. Movie making is a business. Movies are products. You pay $15 per ticket as price of admission to sit in a theater and have artists tell you a story using motion pictures. Production studios invest copious amounts of dollars to bring story to screen. And this marketplace of movie making used to be an art form in and of itself. Movies are already part of the art genre, yes? Movies are work.
just to add, I think movies are kind of like a mix of art and business. And, well, you know, we can talk about it being high end, but, there's something to be said for low end too. Um, just adding my thought there.
Works of art. But the way that fully, and to be extra financially viable, they have to be so satisfying to watch that audience members pay to see the film more than once. It's how many of the superhero films achieved their box office success. They were so enthralling that you had to go again. The superhero films were cultural spectacles. Everyone of all ages were talking about them. But there were financial implications put on everyone after those cultural spectacles. The marketplace.
Think I know where he's going. Where it's going to be another one of those spectacle over story, which I don't disagree with. I think Shang-Chi really exemplifies that. Even though it still has a story, I think it could have had more story. And I think actually the spectacle over story kind of killed Thor, Love and Thunder. I think there's more to Love and Thunder than what we saw, but that's speculation. I mean, we do know an hour got cut out of that movie. So, I mean, something's missing. And I think it's the story is what's missing.
Changed. See, I want you to visualize a pendulum. This is a movie. On one side, we see the word product, and on the other side, we see the word art. All films.
Okay, he's getting where what I was saying, so I'm was gonna stop and just say, yeah, okay, he gets me. See, that's why I like this guy. I mean, he gets me. I'm gonna check the chat real quick. Yeah, yeah, nope. All right, let us continue.
Swing back and forth inside this safety zone where they need to be good enough to make lots of money, but also stand on their own 2 feet as authentic artistic expression. And what we've seen since the spectacle of the franchise genres, see, it's not just superhero films, it's franchises as a whole. What we see now is the pendulum has swung very forcefully into the products category. The critical majority of films today have no substance, unlike the substance. They have no sticking power or staying power. You watch them and you forget them the moment you leave the theater. They have nothing nice to say about the world. They have no encouragement. There's no inspiration. And the spectacles bringing you into the theater aren't even good anymore. There's
Stopping there, I also will say it also shows a lack of originality. There's no ideas. Um, I think everything, everywhere, all at once was the last semi-original idea. I mean, yeah, it's multiverse, and that kind of was building up in the MCU at the time. But at the same time, multiverse is not a new concept. So, I mean, God, we had sliders in the '90s, right? And I mean, Doctor Who introduced it a long time ago too. So I'm not really, but it was at least a movie that had a new spin on the idea, and that was at least fun and original. Um, yeah. So just thoughts running through my head as I watch this, kind of thing.
nothing there except a sparkle of spectacle and an empty husk of a story featuring lead characters with motivations that are entirely too predictable or entirely unrelatable. Look at the box office for this year. How many on there are original ideas?
Yep.
How many on there are legitimately good stories that you'll want to watch over and over? How many on there have jokes or gags or comments on the world as it is today, right now?
That one. Oh God, that was almost a troll to the audience. It was just a big middle finger to the audience. That was terrible, terrible, terrible.
Now, things that will not be funny or relevant in 6 months, permanently dating this film to the current day and losing all relevancy down the road. You see, it's inside this balance of art and product that the entire industry has lost its way, and the industry and those inside of it are entirely incapable of looking at what they're doing from a bird's eye perspective or from an outside point of view. They're entirely incapable of understanding the fact that movies and filmmaking are no longer an art form and are exclusively meant to generate quick profits and move immediately out of the zeitgeist in order for the next product to take its place. And that's a very bad thing. And it doesn't matter for us, it matters for the next generation. Hello, my friends, and welcome to The Pondering. I am the real life fake wizard. If this video brings you any value at all, I invite you to subscribe to this channel where we're posting new videos nearly every day. I have the
By the way, yes, I did forget to say to sub to his channel. You won't regret it. I have a lot of fun watching this guy's videos, and I love how his backgrounds change. It's always pretty cool. You'll see Star Wars stuff, and yeah, it's really nicely done. And I just love this fake beard, and it's so obviously a fake beard. Oh, he does lives on Sundays too, usually. So check him out. Pretty interesting lives.
this term that I use on my streams called fast food movies, and it's been very challenging to find the right way to properly define that. But you look at something like Venom 3, or Madam Web, or Godzilla and Kong, Ghostbusters 4. None of these movies have staying power. Some of them might have made a few dollars in profit, but these movies have nothing worth thinking about the minute you leave. There's no Ghostbusters 4 is a boring slog with characters you just don't care about, and a contrived plot that you could see coming a mile away. Godzilla
I still have not seen Ghostbusters 4. I have seen Godzilla and Kong, and yeah, those are not terrible movies, but at the same time, they're nothing. I mean, there's nothing to them.
2014 is actually well thought out in its approach to Godzilla. It's not a great film by any means, but there's a root that there's some kind of science fiction in this world. The human plot is not boring, the acting is not bad, and the way they used Godzilla made his presence important. He's not in it much. You certainly wish he was, but when he is, every step he takes is slow and powerful. His movement carries the weight of him being the size of skyscrapers. They thought about that. They thought about how his movement was meaningful. And so his screen time is ultra important in its short duration. But you look at Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire, and all of that importance to his screen time has been diminished. The Godzilla
I hadn't
films have
thought of that.
reduced themselves down to just monster punch-out movies, kind of like the Michael Bay Transformers.
I haven't watched this one. I watched the last one, and I literally zoned out in the middle of it. I can't tell you a thing about the movie. I just didn't find it that interesting. I'm like sitting here, Kong versus Godzilla is not interesting. What is wrong with that picture? Um, Godzilla minus one, the exact opposite. So yeah, I mean, there's a valid point here, but need to see where he's going with superhero movies killed cinema. Um, Again, I'm not agreeing with that wholeheartedly, but I still want to give him a chance to say what he's got to say.
Transformers films. And it's like, yeah, that's what Godzilla movies have always been. Except, look at how good Godzilla Minus One was. Don't tell me it's impossible to write a good human plot. Don't tell me it's impossible to make Godzilla an artistic masterpiece.
Don't give me excuses. Give me results.
And these are just a couple of anecdotal entries. But look at DC films, look at Marvel films, look at Star Wars, look at Blumhouse, and look at the artistic, expressive, noses up at the world fancy movies now, too. You know, the Pinkies Out crowd. Look at Indiana Jones. We got an Indiana Jones film last year that had zero cultural impact. No one cares. And that's not the audience's fault. If it was good, people would have gone to see it. And in all of these genres and more, the films have.
Now you see, I'm going to interrupt here because there was also no spectacle in Indiana Jones, so there was just a bad movie. I mean, some might argue there was. I didn't The train, maybe. I, I wouldn't even say that was spectacle. I was kind of bored with the train.
Nothing to do other than to cost a fortune to make. Written by hacks that have never done anything and have nothing nice to say about themselves, the world, or their audience, and then don't make a single blip in the minds of viewers. It's a waste of time to go to these movies now. Those are 2 or 3 hours you won't get back. We get movies now that could be fun for a single viewing, like Deadpool and Wolverine or Beetlejuice 2, but kind of harkening back to what Martin Scorsese said about superhero films in 2019, they're theme park rides. Nothing is cinema anymore. A theme park ride is a thrill for a few moments, and then you move along and just go get on the next one.
There's nothing wrong with theme park rides. However, I would argue some of the superhero movies were a bit more than that. I always felt Guardians of the Galaxy was. I always felt at least the first Avengers was. Um, yeah, I give it to you on Avengers Endgame when Cap finally says Avengers Assemble. Yeah, that's a theme park ride thing. At the same time, it was well earned. So, you know, my thoughts. But when Scorsese said that, we weren't quite in this quagmire yet. So, when he said, yeah, I didn't like when he said it because it was like his little artsy films are not good either. And I'm talking about for early reasons. The Irishman, was that it? I didn't like that movie either. So I thought it was dull.
Films used to be way more than that. Films used to connect with people emotionally, and now they don't. And I guess in a lot of ways, I sound like an old man yelling at clouds. And I am. But I'm
You
also
are.
self aware enough to know why. Because it's not about me, and it's
By the way, this guy is much younger than me. I found out on one of his live streams. So he's an old man yelling at clouds. Maybe it's not an old man yelling at clouds, dude.
not about you either. The films of the 1980s, the 90s, the 2000s, and the earlier parts of the 2010s inspired generations, or at least my generation, to take up filmmaking as a career. Did you know that the number of students majoring in film and media has increased nearly 300% since the 1970s? That's a lot of people taking out copious debt to tell stories as a career.
That's disgusting. I do it for nothing.
And the reason these people pursued filmmaking is because they were inspired by the previous generation's films, because they were good, because even though the stories were fantasies, the challenges that these heroes had were real. You could empathize with them. And so countless men and women went to university to learn the art of filmmaking. And as they came out and went to work, well, the industry shifted with the growth of superhero movies and franchises. And today we live in a world where it's hard for those people, the ones who actually care, the ones who actually have stories to tell. Well, it's hard for them to get their films made because the majority of studios are no longer in that safe zone we spoke about before. Movies are perpetually stuck in the product zone. And so, if the films today,
I say that's a result of the corporate mindset, not the result of superhero films. That's me.
are not good, and we know they're not good, but we also know that it's the films of the previous generation that inspire the future generation of filmmakers. What does that say about filmmaking as an art form? What does that say about the next generation? They are not learning the same values that we got. They do not have similar heroes like we did. And the films of today that actually have something to say spend their precious runtimes bitching and moaning about groupthink virtuism or a writer's commentary on geoeconomic political ideologies, rather than just encouraging an audience or satisfying an audience. And our youth suffers for that. They're missing out. It's one thing to say Star Wars was revolutionary, but to the youth, I sound like an old man. And the youth of today just don't care. I grew up on the original 6 Star Wars films. Luke Skywalker was the definition of heroism.
One thing that keeps popping into my brain when he's talking about the youth and and I get it, and I agree with him. But also, he says that's what inspired them. But the thing is, once you start gravitating to film, and I tried to get into film as well. Um, long story on that one. I you know, you do go back and you do look at older films and different genres and stuff like that. So, again, just a thought hanging in the air while he was talking about inspiration. But yeah, it's true. You need something to inspire you to start that journey. So, a valid point, but I guess I wanted to add to it a little bit is that it's not just what's out now that can do it.
To me, what are the youth of today getting?
I'm wondering why he's using a deleted scene from Jedi at this point. Sorry, I'm gonna run it back just a second because he was talking about Luke being a hero.
In the original 6 Star Wars films, Luke Skywalker was the definition of heroism to me. What are the youth of today getting? A Venom trilogy? The Acolyte? There's not a damn thing about that show I would want any youth seeing or being morally encouraged by. I call the films of today fast food movies because, similarly to fast food, it's quick to consume,
Fast food movies. The Acolyte has the E. coli.
squashed together. It's intended to satisfy you for a little while and get you just hooked enough to keep coming back. And it's not good for you. But the McRib is back at McDonald's. If you care about this kind of thing like I do, the best solution is to hit the pocketbooks of the companies making these films or shows or media.
See, I kind of crack up, but he's like, talks about fast food movies right after talking about the Acolyte because that is, you can't even call that a fast food movie. It's just pure dreck.
And I shouldn't pretend like you're going to the movies. Many of you aren't already, and that's because
Nope.
there's just nothing good to see.
Yep.
You have the ability to crush Hollywood, and they don't want you to know this. If you choose to stop giving them money, if you cancel the subscriptions, you don't buy the tickets, you don't buy the toys, you don't buy the merch, and you actively choose to speak with your wallet, eventually they will course correct. They'll have to, because once they fail, the company's stockholders will want to know what's gone wrong, and they'll have to finally pivot on their business plan to do something that's made for the general buying audience and not the mystical fake target markets that marketing bros keep trying to make a reality. All of our heroes are dead, sacrificed on the altar of angry narcissistic creatives and twisted corporate managers. I said I was concerned about the youth and how they're going to inherit what we leave behind. Well, I'd rather see it all burn to the ground and have individuals like you and me take up the mantle of telling stories through our own small indie films and our own indie projects than let Hollywood keep parading around the corpses of Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, and Princess Leia
Funny he uses the term corpses. Chad said that about G.I. Joe too. Weird.
just to make a quick buck. My friends, I want to thank you for joining me for this pondering video. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you're new here and you want to see more from me, consider hitting the subscribe button. And until next time, create, innovate, inspire. Maybe the youth are screwed because our movies today, well, well, they're absolute shit. Yep.
Okay. So the basic premise I agree with. Wow, really nobody came in on this? That's weird. Could be a time slot. I know it's random, but anyway. Okay, so basic the basic premise I agree with, but at the same time he didn't I like real life fake wizard, but I don't think he connected the dots of superhero movies doing it. Again, he's talking a lot of corporate crap, corporations aren't going to take a risk anymore. They can't. They don't want to, and that's the problem. They're sticking with the franchises, and some of the franchises have run their course. I mean, I'd argue Star Trek. You could go further into the future with Star Trek and get something, but it's going to take a home. It's going to take a reboot akin to original series, Next Generation. I feel the same way about Star Wars. I think they had a chance with the Acolyte. That sounded cool, and then they screwed that one. Okay, so I was just testing out the water, seeing how it went, see how this goes. I noticed that my internet went glanced out there towards the end of the video. Right when I came back, I was like, ah, crap. I don't know how much of that got lost, but anyway. But not been on that long, have I? It's 31 minutes. Okay. So anyway, this was a test run. Just seeing how it works. Let me know if you catch the replay. We'll chat it up. It might continue, it might not. Anyhow, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks for watching. You guys don't forget to do all the YouTube stuff. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll talk to you later.